So today we have Chad Muckenfuss, our Vice President of Cloud at Telarus, along with his special guests from Netrix. We've got Mike Bajic, Senior Strategic Partnership Manager, Samir Patel, our EVP of Field CTO Organization, and Don Kennedy, our VP of Sales. Thanks, folks, and why don't you take us beyond the algorithm?
Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Jen. Appreciate the intro there. Looking forward to this conversation here because Netrix is brand new to the Telarus portfolio, and they are getting some tremendous traction with our partners out there. They're bringing a lot to the table in and around the AI conversation, and I'm happy to spend 20, 30 minutes here getting to know them a little bit better in a fireside chat type of model here. So before we really kick things off, I'd like to go down the line and just have introduce yourselves. So I'll start with Samir. Samir, just give an introduction and a little bit of background of who you are and what you do at Netrix.
Thank you, Chad. Samir Patel. Hello, everyone. I'm with Netrix for almost 14 plus years. I am responsible for all the field CTOs that are part of the Netrix global organization. Each CTO is responsible for very unique expertise that Netrix services provide that we will hear about us. And I'm based out of Dallas, Texas.
Terrific. Don, how about you? Do a brief intro and explain what you do at Netrix.
Yeah, so good morning, everybody. Don Kennedy. I'm one of our VPs of sales at Netrix Global. Some of my other responsibilities is I lead up our go-to-market strategy channel and marketing efforts. Happy to be here.
Great. And last but not least, Mike, why don't you fill us in on what you do at Netrix?
Hey everyone, thanks Chad. My name is Mike Bajic. I'm the Senior Partnerships Manager here at Netrix. Been here for about a year and a half now, but been in the industry for over 10 years. Partnerships is everything I do, and really aim to create win-win-win scenarios. So that's my goal.
Great, terrific. Well, I want to kick things off, and I'll start, Samir, with you. Just provide a brief overview of the services and offerings that Netrix Global provides to our Telarus partners.
Sure. So at Netrix Global, we have about 6 different expertise that we are really good at it, right? So there is not a like what is number 1 or number 6. I'll just go through what I have in front of me. Okay. So the very first one is data and AI. In data and AI, we do lots of services for a data assessment, data strategy, how to migrate the data from one data lake to another. So it could be Azure to AWS, right? Things like that, or a SQL to cloud as well. So those type of things that can be done. From an AI perspective, we are getting lots of AI conversations with the prospect as well. And usually where they are in a journey, what they want to do. So that's one of the pillar. Very second one is a cybersecurity. We provide end-to-end cybersecurity services, including managed SOC. Another thing that we provide is if any of your prospect or customer are being a victim of cyber attack, you can call us. We will have people working with your team within 15 minutes. And there is no number to know or anything. Just remember netrixglobal.com. You go, the first thing you will see on the top is contact us if you have an incident. The third service, the expertise that we have is a cloud infrastructure. We help organizations to migrate their data from on-premises to the cloud, whether it's AWS or Azure, does not matter, we can do that. If the customer is looking for a private cloud, we also provide that as well. If the customer are in the cloud, but they are saying that there is so much expense, like how can we help them with the fintech? So that those type of services we do provide. Another one is a digital workplace. Inside the digital workplace, we have a UCaaS services. One of the in the UCaaS, we provide Microsoft Teams and our own IP, which is an NVX platform. So our Microsoft Teams, the reason that there are so many companies that do provide Microsoft Teams, the unique or differentiator for us is that we have a concurrent sessions. And concurrent sessions is usually for the customers are 60 to 70% cost saving. So you can go back to your customer and propose the saving, and that saving can help them do some of the AI initiatives that they might have it, or anything else that they want to do. Second thing is a contact center. So we do provide light to enterprise class contact center services as well through our NVX platform. And the third one is what we are seeing in the market is remote work or hybrid work is reduced in some of the places. So how the organizations are getting ready for the rooms in the conference rooms get set up. So that's something that we do as well. And the last thing is IT service management or IT strategy. We are seeing lots of service related to, can we have a CISO services or virtual CIO services? Those type of things we provide. But one of the things that we have seen lots of uptake is a service desk, because lots of organizations are faced with remote work or hybrid work. So when the users are remote, their technical team is also working from remote. So when there is a laptops return, laptops inventory needs to be done, it becomes very hard. Where do you do it? How do you manage the inventory? So this is where that we are helping lots of organization, small to mid market, that to do their service management services. Those are the services, Chad, that we have today.
That is terrific, and it's a great overview. I really, again, knowing you and working alongside of you for the past couple of months here, it was very obvious to me, specifically on the Connect with Us Now. If you have an incident happening, is a really great tool. Obviously, it's a necessity. If there's a customer that's having a problem, you can just go to the Netrix Global website and talk with someone immediately to help resolve that issue for a customer. I am going to kind of pivot a little bit here and look at the comments. Wes had a comment here specifically of whether you have a direct sales team and how does that work in conjunction with the channel. And it looks like Mike is replying to that, so I'll let Mike take that question.
Yeah, thanks, Chad. Thanks for calling that out. Wes, thanks for asking that as well. So we do have a direct sales team. However, we're completely ingrained with the channel team. So when there is an opportunity, I wanted to call this out too. Feel free to reach out to me directly or your Telarus channel manager to register an opportunity. We will align you with an account executive that will help carry that opportunity through to close. That I want to be very specific here. That is not an account executive that's going to be calling on any accounts outside of you, but they will assist in the sales process. I myself am a partner manager. I can't possibly scale without some support. So they're there to help you, and they're an extension of your team.
Great. Thank you for addressing that. Moving forward here, I'd like to hear the thoughts from all three of you on the current state of technology in the business world, how it's changing, and some of the trends that you see happening now versus where you may see things headed in 2026.
I'll jump in first, and I was going to say, kind of the topic of today, AI. So one of the things that we're seeing a lot with our current customers and current prospects is conversations around AI. It's interesting to see that, a lot of those conversations are structured around what should I be doing with AI? I'm being told I need to be doing AI. And what we found is a lot of organizations have tried to tackle this on their own and have gone 6-9 months and really not made the proper progress or started opening up pretty significant security holes. So what we're seeing as a trend right now is a lot of people and a lot of our customers are kind of taking that step back and saying, okay, I know I need to do AI. I tried to do it on my own. Let me figure out what I should be doing. And so a lot of our conversations are kind of moving people back from just deploying Copilot or deploying different AI technologies into helping them understand what their strategy is. Are there security holes in their data, and helping them figure out what that roadmap looks like. One of the things that we've seen within prospects and customers of ours is people tried to tackle too much at once and didn't really understand the backend infrastructure that needs to be supported to make the data secure, but also didn't really know that path forward. And so there's I see that definitely going into 2026, but we've seen a drastic uptick in the past 2 months where I think a lot of our customers and prospects that we interact with had charters at the beginning of the year to implement AI, and now that the year's getting almost to the end, they haven't made the progress that they expected, and so a lot of people are asking for help at this point.
Yeah, and I think that's key as we look at AI. The MIT study, the Gen AI Divide report that MIT released, 95% of AI implementations so far fail to implement. And I think your outline there of how you approach it and how you make your AI implementation successful, turning into a return on investment and planning it out ahead of time, making sure you look at those security gaps is key. Samir, did you want to add to that at all?
Yeah, I like to add a couple things to that, right? So you touched the ROI conversations right into the AI, where as Don stated, there are lots of companies that does not matter the size of the company. It can be a 5-user company or 5,000 user company. Everyone is tackling AI today, and everyone wants to be hero in their own organization, right? So that's what we know, and our job is we need to make them a hero. How do we make them a hero? Because we work with many organizations on the AI journey. We know what are the traps are, what are the blind spots are for the prospect, for the customers. And as long as we save them from them and we tell them that this is the ROI and you will get this ROI and then you will have a success, that's all there is to it. Second thing that most of the people forget is a prompt engineering. Everybody wants AI, but they don't know how to ask AI what they want. So if you don't ask properly, that would not get results. And it's not something that you can tell them that, hey, this is the prompt today that you use it. It's not going to be that way. We have to train them. And how do you train them? With our UAS services, user adoption services that we provide to our customer. So we do it every week. So the users joins the call and then they learn it. Okay, that's a prompt. This is how you do it, because the AI engine are changing every month. So how the user community keep up with it, it's very hard, right? It's close to impossible. So it is our job to educate them how to leverage the solution that they have deployed in their organization. So that's a key factor in the success of the AI journey.
So a quick follow-up question, which I think is a great one here in the chat, is what's the biggest mistake that you see in AI implementation? Is there one? Is there 2 or 3? What do you see as kind of the glaring time and time again that happens in as a mistake?
I have few, right? There is not a big one or smaller, but I'll tell you a couple that I see more, right? That's what we have seen. So number one, not knowing the data. That's the biggest mistake that we see. I'll tell you one of the real example that we have encountered about 3 weeks ago. The customer did not know the data, but they turned on the AI engine, right? So they said, okay, we are going to do AI. And soon enough, person asked the prompt to that new deployment and said that, okay, what is that my company's earnings is? This is a public company, right? It's traded in the stock market. And before that, everybody knew it. That employee knew the earning details of that. And getting to know, and he shared with the people and things like that. So it has created a lot of chaos. If you Google it, you will find out, right, what I'm talking about. So that's the one thing. The second thing also related to a few months ago, we encountered one of those, like a 300 user company, they turned on the Copilot and they did not do data and security that we usually like to do. And then they found the salary of everybody. Through the HR have a salary in the Excel file, right? Like not everybody has a HR system. So they found those things. So how do you prevent all these things? So that's what the mistakes are there. The second thing is most of every organization fails on a user adoption services. This is not something that you can deploy it and forget it. This is a constant change. It's taking place much faster rate than any other technology that ever has been done in its history of IT. So user adoption is the key to the success of those. Those are the two things that I would call it out, Chad, from my opinion.
Okay.
Or Dan or Mike Bajek, you guys partner with me a lot. If there is anything you add, go ahead.
Yeah, no, the only thing that I would say is the security components. A lot of people think that they can just turn it on and not have their data classified, and that's really key on privacy and making sure that the wrong data doesn't get out there. I was on that call with Samir when the IT director, kind of referenced that he was able to find their earnings before they were published, and it was eye-opening to that organization. And cause them to really pause and look at what is our strategy. Are we prepared for AI? And obviously we were able to come in and consult with them on that. The other thing that I think is a challenge to AI is the customer really needs to understand what that use case is that AI is going to solve. A lot of people think AI is just the chat GPT and the email summaries and, taking notes during a meeting. But AI is a lot more powerful than that, and being able to integrate and work with the different lines of business to understand the challenges that they have really drives some of that adoption and more of the impact to the business. A good example of that is we had I would say a round table with one of our customers where we discussed, somewhat of a art of the possible. They kind of just pepper us with questions and challenges that impact their business or things that they wish they could do but don't know how. And that's where you're going to get the best use cases to define out, how AI can be used. In that specific example, they wanted a way they were a medical device manufacturer, and they were trying to figure out ways to have better patient service and better interaction with the doctors during surgeries. And some of that came down to AI, being able to quickly respond and help assist different folks. But that's where you make the most impactful, is finding the right use cases versus just assuming that AI is just summarizing meetings and sending out notes.
Yeah. I think, what I hear time and time again from my position here is exactly what you mentioned. The security aspect of it, the good, bad, or indifferent data cleanliness has been a topic of conversation from the beginning as well. And those are two core building blocks. And then obviously the prompting. What are you looking to get out of the AI once this is implemented and implemented correctly? Those seem to be the three key building blocks of getting the basis for a successful AI deployment. I'm going to pivot to Mike here and begin to ask, since joining the Telarus portfolio here, Mike, what are the areas you're seeing the most activity around? And, whether that's activity based around your services or conversations with the partners, but where are you seeing that activity currently?
Yeah, thanks for that. It has been a full spectrum so far, which is exciting. But I'd say some of the key focuses have been cybersecurity, especially on the assessment side, as well as some of our SharePoint expertise. So it's still very much used, especially when we're talking about data. And we have a whole team dedicated to the entire part of that. So.
Yeah, that's great. I love the fact that you offer some traditional MSSP services. So managed solutions security is a big part of what you do. Can you expand a little bit on that? I know Samir outlined the services, but you are a full suite of offering under that MSSP model. So do you want to hit again just on some of those highlights outside of the AI conversation that we're having, which is a key part of this, but also some of the traditional IT services that you have?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think to answer that question, I want to take a step back just a little bit on our foundational approach when working with clients. We operate on a 3-pillar model of advise, deploy, and manage. So when we're looking at our security stack or really any part of our business, we're aiming to fit that need for their client today, wherever they're at, whether they need advisory services, assessment services, do they need deployment services? So is that Cisco, Palo Alto, Fortinet, CrowdStrike, SentinelOne? We're able to implement those solutions for them if they want to stick with that. If they need managed services, we're able to manage those offerings. We're able to offer our own managed services offerings as well. From a MDR perspective, a SOC perspective, a NOC, we have our own offerings there as well. So wherever your client is today in their journey across the IT stack, we have services where we can meet them for that.
That's great. And there was a question here that Samir responded to from Wes is how large of an organization are you as far as employee count and locations around the world, because you are a global MSSP?
Yeah, that's a great question. Today, we're about 800 employees strong across 6 global locations. So that really comes into a factor when you look at our MDR offerings. We do offer a true follow the sun model. You are getting someone that's working regular business hours, responding to your alerts and mitigating your risks. It's not someone that's waking up at 3 a.m., rubbing their eyes and trying to see what was going on. So that plays a huge factor in our offerings. And another call out I want to make too is that 80% today of our employees are all technical resources. So while Don and I definitely fight to provide our value here as sales guys, the majority of our company is technical in nature.
Yeah, and that's a wonderful aspect too, is because having that technical minded core part of your employee base is great, because the people that you're talking to know what they're talking about. There's not a sales spin on it. No offense, I come from the sales side too, but the technical aspect of it is really what the customers appreciate tremendously. I think the last thing that we want to focus on before we open it up to a little bit more Q&A is walk us through some wins that you've had very recently. Samir mentioned one, but what are some others that you can give examples of, whether it's on the traditional MSSP services side or the AI side, or both?
Let me take that question. I'll tell you the fresh win that we just had about a week and a half ago, right? And we will start with the cybersecurity. So this customer is, I'm sure that their product is in everybody's home today, in their kitchen. They called us on a Friday at around 6:30 p.m. And the question was, they opened a ticket by going to our website because they thought they were hacked. And they said that, hey, our west coast data center, all the servers that we have, we cannot access it. So we got engaged within about 8 minutes. And we had some of my field CTOs were on the call, and our managed SOC team was also the call. We call it FIRE team, right? Forensic and Incident Responding Team. We call it FIRE team. That's what the industry understand. Around 9:30 p.m., we helped them solve the issue. They got the recovery of all the servers. Now, why Netrix, right? Like, what did we do different than anything else? So to know that they had 2 other companies who were managing their network, who were managing their security. By the time that company's security technical person joined, it was at almost 10 o'clock. So this prospect told us that, Samir, can you guys just drop off from the call? We are going to talk to our partner who's supposed to do this work and why they failed, right? And we are right now helping them to end-to-end securing what are the best practices, where they were leaving money. We reduced their security spend by 28% and consolidated it, and they got a lot more visibility to that. One of the things was that is they were subscribed to so many different technology, and we looked at it. They did not pay for subscription, but they thought that they were getting us services. And those were the things that, sometimes what lots of MSP, MSSP do is once they are servicing and everything is good, then I don't want to say slack off is the right word, but they just their focus is not there. So we at Netrix, our core is like customer service. And because we do send the survey after every ticket, we have a quarterly meeting. So we understand what the customer pain points are. So we are always there. So that's how we got the solutions for them. Now I'm going to switch to the AI conversation. This has been we have worked with this company in the past. And after 2-3 years, they came back and they suggested that, Samir, we need to do AI deployment. We tried in-house, didn't work. We don't want to get a black eye. How can you guys help us? So we did a workshop for them. We did all these things, and they said, we don't have a budget. I don't think that we can do this. So the way we took that conversation is like, okay, that's fine. You don't have a budget, but what is the cost if you don't do it? What is the impact on that? Let me do the ROI calculation for you. So we did ROI calculation for them at no cost to them, right? And we said that we showed them, like, this is not a calculator that you fill in the number and we give you funny number and all that stuff. No, we work with you. You have to tell us the number. The customer has to give us the data, and we walk them through. And we said, in 3 months, if you engage with Netrix, in 3 months, you will have a ROI. And they say, okay, let me talk to our board and let's figure it out. 2 weeks later, they had a budget for it, and we deployed the project for them. In 3.5 to 4 months close, they got their ROI, and they are on the way for the AI deployment. So those are the couple success stories that I do wanted to show and talk about it. Like, what was the customer pain point, how we solve for it. There were some obstacles, and how we are moving forward with them. Dan and Mike may have others if they want to share.
Well, let's touch on that quickly here. Let's touch on that sales cycle. You mentioned a 3 to 4 month implementation process. How many months leading up to that? So total overall into that project that you just outlined for us.
Sure. So in AI project, that second project that we talked about, the sales cycle from a customer talking to us by the time they sign the statement work, it was about 6 weeks.
Okay.
Once they signed the project and we finished the project was 4.5 months, because we wanted to work with them until we show them that they got the ROI, right? And now they are with us as a MSP. So we are managing their AI infrastructure and all the details that they are looking for, because it's not, AI projects are not something that you do it and forget it. 6 months later, it would become a dull. You need to keep it sharp. Otherwise, the value is not there.
Right. And I think what you just said there, you started this as an AI conversation, and now you also became their MSP. That's a huge, what we like to refer to at Telarus as a land and expand opportunity. So
Yes.
you were brought in for a small project or a smaller project, and now not only did you complete that project, but you're also in there as a managed service provider and continue to handle data as it grows, as it matures, and continue to feed that into the AI engine that you've built. So I think that's a great example. Couple of things popping up in the chat here. One thing is, do you have any case studies that are out for marketing that's been sanitized so that we're not touching into areas that offer customer information, et cetera?
Absolutely. We have some of the case study. We probably need to sanitize because some of them has a customer information, right? That's for internal sales guys, so they understand what is the sales cycle, sales story, so they can rinse and repeat with other. But we are happy to sanitize it and provide it as well. At Netrix, we are also doing like a lots of video reviews. So forget the case study. Who has a time to read the one pager, right? Like nobody has that. This is like a Instagram, TikTok time. If I don't give you a message in 30 seconds, forget it. I'm moving on. So we have a video studies also coming on our website. So you all will be able to see and get those things as well. So this would be a perfect things that we can provide.
The video case studies are fantastic, short and sweet, and easily shareable via email. So I think it's fantastic. As we're clicking through here, a couple of things that I just want to bring back, and this is probably for Mike and Don. What's the best way to interact with you once the partner has registered an opportunity with the Telarus team? Who can they be connected with here to start the journey with Netrix?
Yeah, great question, Chad. I dropped my email in the chat, and I'll make sure I follow up with everyone here. But I'll be your main point of contact if you guys have any opportunities. Even if you want to just question if this is an opportunity that would fit for Netrix, I'm happy to qualify opportunities. First and foremost, I'm happy to strategize on approaches with customers as well. Once we do qualify that opportunity and approve the registration, you'll get connected with a technical resource and an account executive on our team to help carry you along the way. I will be in the process from start to finish, but you will see me start to fade out a little bit as the project moves on. But I really do want to make sure that those projects get off to a good start. So I stay in the loop the whole time.
Don, you look like you wanted to say something there. Go ahead.
No, I was going to echo. Typically, the first engagements with Mike, and then as this process goes on, my team starts getting more and more integrated as Mike kind of steps away. So it's kind of a tag team effort, and there's a lot of, I would say, any of the opportunities that are coming over, we treat, very hands-on. We've got a lot of leadership, and we want to make sure that those go well.
Yeah,
and just to add in on that, to what Don is saying, we are very understanding that these relationships, you've spent years building trust and confidence with your clients. So we treat every interaction with that same level of respect. We want to make sure, like I said earlier, we want to create these win-win-win scenarios where we're winning, you're winning, and the client is winning, and everyone walks away with a positive interaction.
Yeah, I think that's great. And Don, we had some questions here since you kind of wear the marketing hat as well. Is once those videos are ready to go, can we have them loaded in the Telarus hub so that they can be accessible under your offering too? So we definitely probably will work with not probably, we will definitely work with you to get that loaded and get that done. Again, I just want to highlight how quickly you've gained traction here because of your well-established base of core engineers and everything else. Samir, you've been fantastic in dealing with a lot of technical questions and all that type of thing. And just you've really hit the ground running here with the Telarus team and our partners. So I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for participating today as well. We're gonna wrap things up. There's a lot of questions for contact information and all of that, and we'll share all that contact information after the call here as well to each and every one of the people that have joined from the Telarus team. But moving forward, again, we're going to reach out to Mike. You're going to go through your Telarus partners at Telarus.com to get the opportunities registered, and then we'll connect you through to Mike and the team here at Netrix. I want to thank you again for joining us today. I really, really appreciate the time and effort, and look forward to working with you now and moving into 2026 especially. So thank you all for joining us today. And I'm going to turn it back over to Jen Demas for the next round here.
Do you guys have time for a couple quick last questions that just came to me while I was watching the chat too? Chad, you did such a good job of asking the questions in flight. But two quick things that I would hope to ask this Netrix team. One was about the case study that you talked about, Samir. What was when they went to the board and they freed up dollars that weren't free before? What was the specific pain point that sort of tipped the scales in terms of them being able to actually turn around? What was the return that was promised in the ROI that got them to be like, never mind, we're really doing this project. Here's some money that we didn't think was free before.
Absolutely. So what was there? So what we looked at it is we didn't care for a meeting notes or like, hey, help me write a better email, right? That's not the AI solution. What was there is how they can respond to their customer faster and more qualified way with the product integration. So that's what it was. And as soon as they saw that, like there are human factor by the time they take care of it, AI factor and combining a human factor, we speed them up to the product involvement and product revolution much faster. So that was the key thing, because that organization saw that, okay, if we do this, we would be more competitive and we can get more customers as well faster than their other competition. So that was their thought process, and that's why they freed up about $280,000.
Wow. Yeah. Thanks for that. And a similar question, but we had a conversation at PAC a couple weeks ago where we had an AI workshop, and it was really about addressing the question that you guys have already talked about when people will say, hey, I want some AI. They have an initiative and they don't have clear direction about exactly what that means or what the benefits are going to be. From a Netrix perspective, if that's a conversation that comes up, how would you like people to take a vague request into a direction of being able to return real value? What's the tip that you have for the advisors on which discovery questions to ask to move the conversation in the right direction?
Absolutely. So I have a list of 3 questions that only think like I want to make salespeople and the sub-agents' life as easy as possible. We have a list of 3 questions. You ask those, and that's it. All you have to do, and then you hand it over to Mike, and Mike will do his magic.
Are you going to share those magic 3 questions with us, or is there a place
Yes.
where we can get our hands on them?
No. I'm gonna give you the deck. We have a deck that we train our internal sales team. I'm happy to share that with you because it will go through like how to identify opportunity, how to think. Like it's about mindset. It's not just show up and throw up, right? You have to understand the customer and ask the right questions. So that's why we will share that.
Okay, everybody in the chat's like, bring it, give me the 3 questions. So make sure we have that follow up and we get people that asset. We're very happy to take your guys' case studies, your videos, whatever assets you have that help our advisors place the solution and get those in their hands. Everybody's always looking for support in their sales conversations. So thank you so much. I think that's all we have time for. Chad, is there anything else that you have hair on fire about? Okay.
No, I think there's a lot in the chat, but again, we're going to share the deck. We'll share information. The Netrix team will reach out to everybody that's joined the call today and share that information with them. And again, we really appreciate you all joining us today. So thank you and have a great rest of your week. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Chad.
Everybody.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you,
everyone.
everyone.
Thank you so much, Netrix. We appreciate you.